great.
Oh, is this what you do this number just to get your guests a little fired up?
Yeah, you just get them riled up, piss them off, start hostile.
I came here hostile. Go right ahead. Come on.
He's ready for war.
We've been ready for the past 45 minutes.
Yeah, I bet you took it all apart.
Just pretend.
Yeah. None of it's plugged in. This is just some fucking... This is Rick Bronson's idea, but no, it is too clever. It wouldn't be Rick.
All right, well, we have officially started now, so we want to thank...
Oh, we're on the air.
We're going now.
Now we're on the air.
Cheers, gentlemen.
Yeah, cheers, absolutely.
Just in case you don't fucking know.
Yeah, there it is.
I'm more voodoo off the beginning.
Well, thank you, Mike, for joining us. This is
My
awesome.
pleasure. That's how I answer all these things.
Yeah.
Fuck, it's in the afternoon. Fantastic.
Whatever, let's just do something.
Do you have a lighter?
I came here for a lighter.
He just wanted a lighter.
There it is.
There I got one. For some reason, birthday cake. It was a birthday cake deal. I had to go light a birthday cake before the show.
For a smoker, how do you not have a lighter with you all the time?
I'm an ex-smoker. I don't smoke.
That's obviously not true because you smoke.
Well, yeah, but that's not... a little bit of pot's okay.
That's what I mean.
Oh. Well, I'm just nervous because Mom might watch this. You know how it gets on the internet?
Right.
My Mom's a stalker. And I've already admitted once I
films.
smoked pot on something, and then she phoned crying. You don't smoke pot because he's going to put you in a wheelchair. She doesn't know how pot works at all. But
it makes you rape.
So I promised. Oh, yeah.
Is she one of those people that...
She's probably seen me. No, she at one point, I think she thought about smoking pot, maybe somewhere in the early 60s, but... Hey, it doesn't matter.
Smoking pot will make you gay, one of those people.
She finds out, she clicks on things, and the next thing you know, there I am saying cunt and smoking weed. It's not a good way to be a son.
Yeah.
Saying cunt and smoking weed.
Saying cunt and smoking weed.
My show in Edinburgh next summer.
That's going to be the next...
That's the name of it.
I'm going through that process now that I'm going to do another festival show. So every maybe 10 minutes, I think I have a title.
Yeah.
It's pathetic. And it'll be like that for a year.
I love it.
And then it'll just be called Mike Wilmont because titles become, as soon as it's committed to print, unfucking funny. You're not funny, and it's just there to remind you you're a shithead for the rest of the festival.
God damn.
So
I love it. I love this. Well, I wanted to ask you a couple questions.
All righty.
All right. We're jumping right in. Well, today's kind of a big day, though, for the U.S., right? We just legalized gay marriage, right?
Well, congratulations.
Yeah, what do you think about that?
10 years ago, where were you?
Yeah, exactly. Canada's been doing
it.
Yeah, exactly.
Friends of the gays. Sir Elton John, born in my country,
born
again. He was married in our country because Canada hasn't given a shit about what you do forever.
That's right.
I forgot to mention you're Canadian.
Yeah, it'll become more apparent
as the drinking continues.
and the weed wears off, and I start slipping into a coma.
Well, I love it. But let's talk about your style, though, because I think this is something that is very interesting. You're obviously very, what would be the best word? Aggressive? Is that a good word?
I would imagine. I've never seen me, so I don't know how I come off.
How do you portray your style then?
I don't. I've been at this long enough that I've turned into that.
You're that guy now.
Whatever that is.
Right. You become the persona.
It's crept into me.
Yeah.
Or I've crept into it. We live simultaneously. In fact, when I do use the word "we" every so often, like a crazy ventriloquist, as to where are we going, and it would be me
and just you
and my act.
Yeah.
So you go fucking nuts after a while. I'm not saying you don't, but I never started that sane.
Yeah.
So
how did it evolve then?
Time.
Just time.
Time. Just you do it so much.
Sure.
You forget.
You live with yourself for so long.
It's the only time I'm comfortable, really.
Right.
The only time I'm in control. I've got 2 grown daughters and a wife, and I'm I'm lower than the dog at the house. So I need a place to
just go vent.
Where I get an hour, 45 minutes to an hour. I can pump my ego up to a proper person's size, and then it's over, and I crumble. I go back into this fucking into this.
Have you ever tried to force the change or force maybe your voice in comedy? I always wonder about that with comics, how they find themselves, and some guys seem to adopt a real, a strange voice. Almost unique.
I don't know. I tried, I think when I was in my early 20s, So this is a long time ago. To try to be like a crazy guy.
Yeah.
But I had no. I don't have any. I don't have the train of thought. I can't. I'm not disciplined. So it lasted seconds.
Crazy,
and I
and
turned back into me.
in regards to like the Gonzo style of just
I
being,
can't remember what he was like. He was sort of like, "Hey, whoa," you know, like,
Yeah.
but literally seconds.
right.
It just, I couldn't.
You couldn't
I
maintain
admire
it.
guys that can keep that going
Sure.
for whatever time they're performing.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm shit at it. I can't.
Yeah.
Is there
No.
a video of you
I've
out
just
there
turned into
smashing
this.
watermelon?
I've turned into a character. I'm a slow learner. Just very slowly, I've turned into
Well,
this.
you started out in the UK though, right?
No, I started in Canada.
Oh, you did? Okay.
I did the Just for Laughs in the mid '90s,
Okay.
and I got invited out to the Fringe in Edinburgh.
Okay.
With my friend Phil Nickel from a group Corky and the Juice Pigs. Some of the fans might remember. And I did Edinburgh, which is mind-blowing, mind-opening, mind-blowing. 1,200 venues
Wow.
in a town. It swells up. It's like 10 times for the arts.
Mhm.
It's music. It's dance. It's theater.
That's
it's
awesome.
comedy. It's
Yeah.
remarkable. Fell in love with it. So I started going to Britain a year after that, and spent about half my life there so far since comedy life anyway.
Sure.
So my career is there. I go over to visit
Well,
it.
that's an interesting thing because I don't think we've had anybody that's really developed, overseas. And I mean,
Well, Proops got me over there years ago. Greg Proops he told me it was fertile.
mhm.
He said, "You have to go, man. It's fertile soil."
Right.
And feel he was right.
And he was, and he was doing well out there. He was already doing Whose Line, the British version, and stand up. And it felt like what it must have been like in America in the late '70s.
Really?
So yeah, I got to do a cool thing.
Sure.
Because by the time I was funny, it was over in America.
Yeah.
Like it was shit. It was like fucking. Everyone was trying to be Seinfeld, and there was only one Seinfeld,
Right.
and he's already a star.
Right.
And I don't know. Now it's 20 years. It turns out.
Sure. It's
There's
there's a
some
boom
really
happening
cool
again. Yeah.
clubs. Like I did the UCB when I was there last. I did set lists there, and people were filling up to see an experimental show like Set List. I thought that was fantastic.
That's interesting. Yeah.
And having shows in comic book stores.
That's cool.
I think that's amazing. I
Yeah.
think that's tremendous. It's just reinventing itself.
Sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's
Well, I
great to
know.
watch.
Bill Hicks became huge over there.
Yeah. Well,
And
he's about to.
Oh, he's about to, right?
then,
He was on
yeah,
that verge, and
yeah.
then so why is that though? Why was it because of the dying in the U.S. and then?
No, I think my friend Rich Hall was big in America in the '80s.
Uh-huh.
Is now flourishing in Britain as a writer, and he makes documentaries and a tremendous stand-up.
Really?
They listen better.
Hmm.
Their audiences
More
were
engaged.
better. Now it's become so big. It's now television fans are replacing the comedy fans.
Oh, okay.
And
It's a different-
They're idiots.
Yeah.
So you're fucked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know who did? We talked to Tom Rhodes, and he said he
Oh,
spent
Tom,
a bunch
I've-
of time over there too.
Right.
Tommy and I
guys
know
were
each
old
other for
chums.
years. Yeah.
Yeah.
And we both have.
The Road Warriors. Huh?
Yeah.
And were you guys there at the same time?
Oh, yeah.
Also, that was it was like a thing at that moment in
Yeah,
time.
yeah, it was amazing. It was really, it felt cool. Like I said, it was nice to be ahead of something.
Sure.
For a fucking change.
Well,
So that was exciting. That was really exciting. Still sort of is. I'm going
Yeah.
back for 8 months out of the next 12,
it seems like a great
and they're
thing
fun to
do.
study.
Sure.
So you can't. It's like Mordecai Risley, who's an author, said you can live there, you can have all your friends can be there, but at night you still wonder what the fuck are you dreaming about,
Right.
and you'll never know what they're dreaming about.
Yeah. See that? Yeah,
English.
yeah. That's
It's a cultural thing you'll never
Sure.
fully understand.
so. You're saying now that it's kind of reversed in the sense that America has become more of the highlight as far as doing clubs and stuff now.
There's still pockets like Edinburgh now still brings in the best of
The best of the best.
alternative comics, straight up comics. There's a festival in Ireland called the Cat's Laugh that brings in the best of the best every year, and you're entertaining basically the village and surrounding villages of
Wow.
Kilkenny.
That's interesting.
Yeah, There's a cool gig in Norway. I can't pronounce the town, and if I could remember its name, still wouldn't be able to pronounce it.
Yeah.
Packed
Really?
with people thinking it's new.
Sure.
It's weird.
And the language barrier has nothing to do with it. Because I know
it depends. If you're a straight up comic that can't, if you're not light on your toes, you might have a difficult time. I learned very early when you would do a bit and you got nothing. You would say, okay, where did I lose you? And then build something.
Sure.
And sometimes
So
you'll
you call
get a
it
new
out?
thing.
You call it out, right?
Fuck yeah.
You'd say, okay,
They were
I
aware
lost
of
you
it.
guys. Yeah.
Because the subtleties were bizarre. Like, for instance, I had a bit about dollars. And I would say, if I say pounds, it won't come off. The first thought they'll have is, why the fuck would he say pounds? He's a North American guy.
Yeah.
Wouldn't he say dollars? And you don't want him thinking like
Right,
that and
right,
fucking
right.
up your bit.
Because they get so much in their head.
So
about
I
the bit,
said
yeah.
bucks or
Sure.
I said dollars, and it was good. But then one day I said pounds, and I knew I'd been there for like a decade because they took it.
Yeah.
They said, oh, well, this guy's been here forever, so
Sure.
I could say pound.
Sure.
But it's subtlety over years, but it does wake you up every so often to think.
Have you thought about
I've learned their lingo,
right?
even though it's
right.
English.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Have you thought about making a special over there? No. Yeah.
Again, it's like a name on your poster, man.
Yeah.
Once it's done, fuck, look at me. I look like an asshole.
So do you think they give you a bit of a pass because they know you're not from there? Maybe they know there's a perceived barrier.
There
in
was
the comedy?
originally.
But not anymore.
No, when I first went out there weren't a lot of North Americans out there. Oh, really, like they're a very small amount. And you'd lose them on the lingo.
Right.
But now, no, they all the best are coming. They're all playing Soho Theater. This cool guy friend of mine, Steve Books. Jake Johansson was just there for a week.
Really?
Yeah, Louis C.K.'s played there a bunch. Todd.
Todd Barry?
Todd Barry's played there. Like they get the 100 Club. I remember Dave Cross brought I think Merman and stuff over. So there's still real fucking pockets of cool places to play, and there's still those die-hard, real proper They've got such an audience, groups like in the millions that they can still split up.
Yeah.
And you can still find the cool places and
Right.
play people that.
Well, I know like Stanhope did a special in like Norway or Sweden or something like
Probably.
that. Yeah, he did like.
Doug did Edinburgh. I met him out and his first wife there years ago.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
He's out here now in Bisbee, so
I know.
you gotta go and say what's up to him.
No.
No.
I remember once I was doing Montreal, and this is after he fucked around with Montreal, and they hate him. He hates them, and he does the just for spite shit. And I saw him at a bar, and I was off to do the Nasty Show. And I look over, and there he is with Bingo, and she's dressed as like a magician's assistant from the like mid-'60s, and he's wearing this like blue leisure suit. And he went, and his hair was combed over, and he just went, "Hey, Mike, what are you doing?" And I looked over, and all I thought was, "No, I have to go." I did a play in Edinburgh, and every day that fucking play ended at 6 p.m. He and the Unbookables were across this bridge that every night, and every night I would stand and look down that bridge. No, Mike. And then I'd go back and have a couple beers and get a good night's sleep for the play.
Sounds like you got some incredible stories.
Yeah.
Yeah, you should
like
get,
a rich history. with all this.
And it's only triggered when I'm talking.
Yeah.
I don't. Otherwise, I'd stay awake all the time, recounting things. How am I going to have future fucking stories if I recount all the time?
Right.
Man, shit.
Well, I got another question for you. Since you're a seasoned guy, you've been in the game long enough. What is the evolution of comedy? What's the next thing? Do you know? Do you think?
No.
You have no idea?
No,
You care?
no.
Do you care?
Let's go there.
No, not a bit.
No.
I just want to be there.
You just want to be there?
It's you have to run in front of the tide,
Sure.
or swim. That makes more sense. Swim in front of the tide,
Yeah.
unless you got special shoes.
Mixing metaphors.
Make special shoes in your act so you can run ahead of the tide.
Unless your
That's
name
the
is
news.
Jesus.
Jesus, and then but you don't get. There's no friction.
Yeah.
So, What was I? What? Where?
Well, just the evolution of comedy,
Oh.
whether or not.
No, I don't. It takes one guy.
Sure.
I'm hoping. I think I know a guy on the front run, like that I adore, is an Australian act, Sam Simmons. We toured Australia for a bit together, and he has a thing where he's got tape cues, and it's a bigger show.
Yeah.
I wouldn't call him a prop comic, although he does use props. And he had to do the same 20, 25 minutes every night because of all these people. Every fucking night, I burst out laughing. His commitment to character, which again I admire, and his timing, and he just fucked them up on Conan, and I think he's going to be getting a gig on Adult Swim,
Really?
which would be a comic's fucking dream.
Sure.
What did they pay, like $80 a week? But it's like you're on fucking Adult Swim. How fun is that? You're telling jokes to stoners at night, which is I think how this all started. But I think if there anything, him and arms welcoming silliness again.
Yeah.
I'm hoping, because there's too many hard-hitting guys that I don't think. I like silliness.
Right.
And
So what's his name? Sam Simmons?
Sam Simmons.
Sam Simmons.
You will know.
Look him up.
Take my word.
He's calling it out right now.
Sam Simmons. Very funny dude.
Cool.
I adore him.
Yeah.
He's
And
a good heart,
Australian?
too. Yeah.
Yeah.
But he's living in Los Angeles now.
There are a lot of avenues now, especially in a place like Los Angeles, for a guy like that. So are you hopeful?
For guys that are that aren't like anybody else,
Yeah.
there's always a lot of avenues.
Yeah.
Unless it's in a bad way. Like
Yeah.
no one fucks a fish like that guy. Those guys. There's probably a future in that too. I mean,
Sure.
there's a lot of people out there that you can get a buck from.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm sure there's 100,000 guys out there that'll give you a buck to fuck a fish. That's $100,000.
Buck to fuck a bit.
Yeah.
Stick a sardine in your ass.
Yeah, whatever. No, that's not a buck.
Come on,
That's
man.
a dare. Fuck, you don't have to-
I'll do that shit for free.
Yeah.
I'll do it for
That won't
advice.
even hurt. You try fucking a fish. You know how tight a fish is?
No, man.
Yeah, well, they don't. I don't even think they get it in. There's no place to put it. I think in order to
A mouth?
really have sex with a fish, I think you just jerk off on the eggs.
On the eggs?
Yeah, I mean, see,
Oh,
why
okay,
would
yeah.
I be worried if my mom thinks I smoke pot? If she's
Right.
watching this, if she
She's
gets to
already-
this point,
Right.
then she'll forget that I smoke weed.
Right.
Oh, I figured it out. You have to put your dick in its mouth soft, right? Maybe even
You can't pull
like-
it out though, because their teeth.
Oh,
are
then you
bent
gotta
in.
then you gotta get hard while
That
it's
reminds
in.
me, it's Shark
and
Week.
then
It's Shark Week this week.
Is it really?
Or next week.
Is this the highlight of the month?
It's in everybody's subconscious. That's why we're doing this. It's Shark Week. If you're a
Shark Week.
Discovery Channel fan, you
Yeah.
know that by now.
That's true. I wish I need to watch more Shark Week.
I think that's the worst week, Shark Week.
Shark Week.
I'm against Shark Week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You hate it?
I wouldn't say hate. It's a strong
Just-
word. I dislike.
Dislike.
I strongly dislike Shark Week.
Why?
Because they take the kiltries off. I'd rather see homesteaders
Yeah.
than douchebags
Trying to touch
poking
sharks.
to find out where they go at night.
It is weird.
They're
right?
just
That is
fucking-
weird.
It's fucking so weird.
Doctors on yachts with their hot assistants in bikinis
Yeah.
on their grant money. We're trying to find out if they sneeze.
It's a
What-
weird.
How did Shark Week become so popular?
People are scared.
Yeah. I
That's how
think-
you sell anything. It's got to be a little element of fear.
Right.
So people are scared of sharks.
I'm scared of bears and heights and all sorts of shit too, but Shark Week is
Well, I think it's
I'd be
more.
way more scared of bears.
Yeah.
Way more scared of bears because you can't avoid being on the earth. You can avoid
That's what I
being
was
in the
thinking,
ocean all the time. But when you're in the woods, you can avoid being in the woods.
Yeah.
But even then, stray bear from a circus, alleyway.
Takes you out.
You wouldn't know. You'd think it's a guy in a fur coat. Do you have a light? Do you have a lighter? That's how I'll die.
In a fur
That's
coat.
how I'll die. I'll be asking a bear if he's got any lighter. And whoa!
Take you right out.
Yep, gone.
You might eat your weed too, though. That's
I'll let him.
let him.
Oh,
He deserves it at that point.
Everything's a circle.
Yeah, that's right.
Everything's a circle.
That's right.
So I go, somebody else eats me. I think that's not really a circle,
No,
but it's a
but
beeline.
I like it.
Yeah, well, secular.
Well, so getting back onto the media, I mean, what kind of avenues are you taking now for your career?
Avenues.
Yeah, exactly. What kind of?
I don't. It's my my career is much like a I like to think
Like
of it
fucking
as,
the fish?
I do. I'm a fish fucker. No, I think of it as more of a narcoleptic in a canoe. Every so often, I fall asleep, and I wake up somewhere else. I'll do a show here. And then off I go, and then the tide takes me away.
Sure.
Because I don't think I ever planned. I like this because I'm just surfing. I should. I drive my wife crazy.
Yeah.
But no, I'm just enjoying this part.
Sure.
As soon as I always think of a plan as something you have when you want to give up something that you'd love.
Yeah.
So I don't have any plans. This is it.
Has that always been your mentality toward comedy? Like,
no,
fuck it,
I
I'm
grew
doing
into
this and
that.
I'm never going to stop.
I grew. Like I said, I'm a slow learner. I grew into that. But it's the most honest I can be with myself.
But that's.
I'm really fond of me. So
is it just
I wouldn't do anything. I wouldn't do anything to hurt me.
Sure.
So I
Fond
love
of
this.
me.
I love this shit. And every time I find myself making a plan, it startles me because I think, what am I doing? Like,
does it freak you out?
Or trying to make something of myself? Like I don't.
Yeah.
You
don't take it too serious.
No,
then,
Christ,
no.
Yeah. No. This is. I have a disorder.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just glad you can make money. This is a benevolent disorder. I don't think of it as anything other. I think it's a gorgeous scam. I remember once. And this is going to sound pretentious as fuck, but it's real.
Yeah.
In Edinburgh, getting smashed with Sir Ian McKellen, the Megatron or whatever the fuck, Magnet Man, Magnet Man, and
Magneto,
and the Wizard Philip,
Yeah.
and a lovely actor. He was also Richard III, but no one remembers. Anyway, fucking amazing Richard III. No, but you should see him when he's a giant fridge magnet. That's where he shines. Anywho, we're getting smashed at the Edinburgh. We just did a big fundraiser called the Stonewall Benefit for an AIDS benefit, and we hit it on. And we both talked about it being a wonderful scam. All of it is. I like to put it back to caveman days where I would draw cartoons of all of us on a wall, and the leader of us, he would be a big cock on him and muscles, and I would tell stories of the hunt. And everyone would laugh and would be scared and and then at the end of the day they would say, "Look, we can't bring Mike hunting because there's a chance he'll get killed. We love his little shows. Do you think?" So they go up to Mike and they say, "Look, do you mind staying here with all the women while we go hunt? Because we don't want to lose you." Yeah. And you reluctantly say, "Yo," but inside you're screaming.
Stoked, yeah.
Then they off they go. You fuck all their women.
Sure.
And then you draw the pictures, and then when the old leader comes back, turns out they've dragged his lifeless corpse because he's been beheaded by a beast.
Yeah.
You just change the head of the next guy. They love you, and you don't have to hunt. And that, to me, that's art.
That's the way to live.
That's the beginning of all art.
Yeah.
Is to stay at home with the chicks, and you guys can go work.
Go do all the other shit.
Go lift some shit. I'll be here. I'll be meeting all your wives.
Definitely right, though. It is a scam.
Oh,
all art.
It's beautiful.
The visual arts are the worst of the scams.
It depends on, but there's a guy. There's a Mona museum. I was out in Tasmania, and it's put together by a guy with Asperger's, who's great at gambling, and he's worth millions and millions and millions of dollars. And he built this art gallery, and he bought this piece for $500,000 or probably more.
Yeah.
And it was just a spinning thing, and you put the paint on it, and the artist sent it to him. And he's the guy that did Half a Cow. He's done famous, always controversial, always pissing people off.
Yeah.
And if you don't like the colors that are already on the wheel that you put on the wall, he gives you like 20 buckets of paint to go with it, so you can do it if you want to do it. And I thought, I like this son of a bitch.
Yeah.
I don't think I would have when I was a younger man.
You didn't.
But now that I'm an older guy, fuck you. Good for you. I like you. I could have a drink with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, you prick. That's fucking lovely. And you're getting people talking.
Yeah,
Yeah,
of course.
fuck it. And you got to have a point.
Sure.
Sure, but you forget, he's a hero. It's a douchebag with $500,000 that's a fucking idiot. That's what this is all about. It's not the fucking artist. It's a fucking idiot that is willing. I'll cover
Put the money.
What is that, like an investment?
Yeah.
Really? Because it just looks like a lighter. But you know, okay, $2 million. Put it in the safe. I don't want anyone ever to see it. That's
There's
the
a
art.
lot of that.
If you can pull that off, I fucking adore you.
Yeah.
If you could get some billionaire cunt to give you money.
Yeah, I feel the same way. For a long time, I did hate. There's a lot of visual artists that I despised because it seemed like they made a lot of money off of.
I hope they did.
Scams.
I hope they
but
fucking
now,
did. Yeah.
I'll watch their interviews. I'm like, oh, that's fucking genius. This guy's fucking genius.
Yeah.
It's not.
They're
whatever.
tap dancing around,
Yeah.
and they're gauging how gullible society is.
Sure.
And they're doing it at an unconscious level, not like television comedy, where you watch that and that is stupidity.
Right.
Like real art stands one away, and I think that like really good comedy is one away from whatever tripe that most people are laughing at. Like I'm frightened with the Duck Dynasty fellas. I know there's a lot of guys doing material about them. They frighten me. Yeah, the whole idea frightens me.
Well, that's art, right?
They're a show.
Isn't that?
Yes, if it's art because none of them are that. So it is a scam.
It is a scam, yeah.
What
But its audience is what's frightening, not them. Right. Fuck them, bunch of fucking idiots. Who gives a shit?
Right.
It's their army of fans. They're like Nazis for the really stupid people.
So that differs from visual art because in visual art there's only one person that buys the work.
In art, there's a moment in between when you're seen and the result where you think about it. That's art. That eliminated those things. There's nothing to think about.
Yeah.
It's just an embarrassing statement of our fucking world right now.
Yeah.
Where writers are out of fucking jobs because of this shit.
That's taken over.
It's horrible. Is that somebody?
Somebody's banging on the door.
It's the duck guys.
It's the
It's the
But you
coming
gotta
for it.
also appreciate the scam of it. And you're not watching it. I'm not watching it. But a lot of people are watching it. And if they weren't watching that, they'd be watching some other stupid shit. That
I
was
would
completely
appreciate it
mindless.
if I was getting anything on the side. If I was getting some dough, I'd be thrilled to that. But since I'm not getting any money, they're fucking assholes. I hate them.
No, I agree. It's the Kardashian effect, right?
I wouldn't thank Christ, and on purpose, I wouldn't be able to pick one of those fuckers out in a police lineup. Those are purpose things I do to keep me from getting like this. See what you've done? Now I'm all
Turn it
sweaty.
on.
Actually, it's freezing. It's like fucking Arizona. It's either you got.
What?
There's no
happy medium.
You go from it's what 114 outside.
Something like that.
And then it's 60
Right.
when you go into the.
That's what it
condo.
is. And then everybody's pissed
keeping all
off.
those old people alive.
Right.
That's what it is. It's a fridge.
Yeah, this is a weird spot for that.
Yeah, they're all like.
115 and you're running.
And that's the age of
to
half
and
the
from
guys
the
there.
scene.
So I'm a Lothario. I'm like, hey,
Yeah. You've been fucking with some of the seniors over there?
Yeah, anything under 70, I'll still take a grab at.
Yeah.
You're walking out with that.
A grab ass.
afro on,
Where are
with
you
your
in
dick hanging
that?
out.
Where are you in the menopause? Are you? If you're post, I can't do anything for you, literally, because all your things are done.
Have you gone out in the robe yet?
On the way?
In your robe?
No, they didn't. I don't.
On the balcony.
I should tour with a robe.
You should. I think you should wear the robe tonight.
Oh, see what you did there? I actually gave that pause for thought.
Yeah, that's art.
I
That's
could
smart.
do a cravat. I'd like to do that on my 60th birthday. I would like, and that's 8 years away.
Yeah.
I am now, as of this moment, officially shopping for that cravat.
Nice.
It'll take me 8 years. I'll save up money. I'll put $5 a week away.
$5.
So I can buy
The nicest.
one with a diamond, like a $10,000 cravat, just to piss the wife off. I saved it. Saved every fucking penny.
Yeah, I deserve this.
Then bing. Oh, then down the sewer. Dun, 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 dun.
That'd be a fitting end to it.
That'd be then I get run over by a streetcar. It always ends that way. I'm from Toronto. We have streetcars.
Oh, I was gonna say, who the fuck uses streetcar?
Any town that has a streetcar. You fucking streetcarless motherfucker. This ridiculous strip of shit we're at.
They're just called like trains
We're
or
on a dirt
rails or
island. We were talking about this
buses
earlier.
Yeah,
we are
this
on a
is-
fucking island
Right.
of.
We're preparing for
there's
Mars.
Your entertainment.
Right.
There's your piano bar. There's
your
getting
pizza.
Coke there. It's not official,
Right.
but everyone knows. There's potheads over there at the pizza place. There's
Gays over there.
Everyone lives across the street, so you don't have to go
Swingers.
this way or that way. And you come back from work,
Yeah.
come back to the fridge.
That's That's what it is.
And that's what you're aiming for.
That's your existence.
That's
Yeah.
I don't understand, man.
I don't know.
And then they all dream of this retirement that never happens because at the very end of it, well, he got cancer, and
And he
at
died.
the end of working at some place, it gave him cancer.
And he died. And
Then
that's
he
it.
died. Yeah, and then she got fat, and something fell out of her ass, and she died moments after that.
That's so sad. When you think about that, you work your ass off.
Just
Until
for that.
something actually falls out of your ass. And you're fine.
Yeah.
That's how I'm going to go. Something was going to fall out of my bottom.
What do you
and
think
I'm
it's
just
gonna be?
Go like, oh. And that'll be my last conscious thought. Something fell out of my ass. What
So
is
how
that,
have you made it work?
What is that, my liver? Is that a kidney? What is that?
Yeah.
Jeez, that's big. It's throbbing. Oh, well.
It's pulsating still a little
Thank
bit. Yeah.
God.
Yeah, how have you made it work?
You seem
How have
happy
you?
again.
Yeah, you seem very happy overall. Just because you haven't taken it serious enough? Is that?
I've never taken anything serious.
Yeah.
I broke up laughing at my dad's funeral.
Really?
Oh, yeah. I can't. It's all too brief and silly. And I find joy.
Right. Well, there was
in,
there
being
had to have been a
half-lit
point.
and goofy all day.
Was there a point where that became who you were? Were you always that way?
No.
No.
No,
What-
but like it happens just by getting older.
Sure. Just
One
with
day
age.
I don't know if I've tricked myself,
Sure.
and this is the result of just my brain saying this is you,
Mm-hmm.
and through further psychoanalysis find out I'm a miserable fuck, or a flake. But so far, this is a guy I'm happy with.
Yeah.
I'm driving this
embraced
vehicle
it.
around for a while.
Yeah.
I like this.
Yeah.
Whoever is inside of me likes this.
Yeah.
So
That's
far.
unique because a lot of guys seem to go the other way as they age.
That's another reason that I'm glad I'm a stand-up, because I don't think we do. I think someone that dabbles in reality
Yeah.
dies horribly. But
Wow. I like that.
I don't do that. I haven't been part of the real life in over 20 years. So how do you not get nuts?
Sure.
In a good
way.
In a good way.
Sure.
I'm going to live longer.
Right.
Than people that.
Well, you're laughing. You're having fun. And you're enjoying
Lewis
yourself.
Black's a dear friend, and
Yeah.
we were in Kilkenny, and this is when I was heavier.
Uh-huh.
And we were hungover, and we were going. They have the football match, soccer, and it's the Irish comics versus the world. So they have Americans, Canucks, Brits, and it's become now like hundreds come out to see it.
Mm-hmm.
It was just sort of a joke at the beginning,
Yeah.
years ago, and we were walking towards that, just grumpy old bastards, going to go to see some young comics bounce around and playing sports. And we were both saying the only reason we're going to live long is comedy, because of the pre-introduction. You know,
Right.
if you're like
Right.
this, you're dead.
Sure.
And he's a good ladies and gentlemen, please, whatever. And then it's that.
Sure. That's that moment of hope, right?
Yeah. Or at least you're faking it to such a degree, it sticks. You're faking hope so fucking well. It's almost hopeful.
Yeah.
It isn't,
Yeah.
but it's almost. You convinced yourself.
Sure.
Yeah.
And you've taken that persona into the act then?
Oh fuck! I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not thinking about it.
Sure. Just reacting.
I wouldn't do it right if I thought about it. I'd fuck it
Sure.
up for sure.
Yeah.
No, it's muscle memory with me.
That's interesting. That's
It just over time.
Yeah.
This is what I've turned into, and I'm happy with it
That's
because it fits well. Like I don't have any huge needs. You know, I remember walking with a friend of mine, he's one of my favorite comedians in the world, and a remarkable writer, and we'll keep his name out of it just because it's not name dropping that way, and it still holds respect. And he said to me, he goes, "Mike, what do you want?" And I thought he meant it on a much smaller scale. And I said, "Chicken wings. I want chicken wings." And he looked at me, and then he sort of gave me a noogie and went, "You know what? I asked you that on the big scale,
Yeah.
but I have a feeling that would have been your same answer." And it sort of dawned on me then that might be me. I think that might be me.
That was the moment. Huh?
Yeah, like I really like chicken wings.
Yeah.
I don't know.
How'd you
great.
stop worrying about it then? Because it seems like a lot of guys, especially comics,
I'm not American.
They're egomaniacs, so it doesn't matter.
No, it does.
Anybody?
No, really.
Does
Hear
it?
me out. Yeah. In America, there's Hollywood. There's an ends to
There's
to
a-
this means. There's something big at the end.
Sure.
If you're in the
Hopefully, yeah.
entertainment business in Canada, people ask you what you do for a living, for real. Like, well, it's cute you got your show. Like, we have a comedian on television. All the Canadian comedians have to come here to become
Right.
famous. They're driven people. I'm a Canadian guy. I made a living telling jokes. I'm a huge success in my brand.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that's part of
That's
our
part
culture.
of it. Yeah.
So there's really a distinguishable difference between the Canadians and the
American
Americans.
win. We gotta win. Number one. We
Best.
gotta win.
Yeah.
Canada's
No, it's totally
when
true.
we get like a bronze in the Olympics, we're thrilled as shit. Holy fuck! We're within the top 10. Holy fuck! We're third rules. That's us.
What about hockey though?
But I don't know. I don't follow sports.
That's life.
stupid.
That's life.
I don't
though,
follow
isn't it?
sports.
You were on Maron's podcast, right? In his early phase.
on his, he did it live at the festival in Montreal.
Oh, really?
But so a bunch of us were on. Glenn
Nice.
Wool was on, me, a bunch of other people.
When was
Sean Cullen?
When what like? What,
A couple years ago, maybe.
A couple of years.
He had just started making it. It was huge. I didn't know. I wasn't. I don't follow along.
Right.
But I know him from Ireland, from that Kilkenny Fest.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and or from before that, and he's such a sad fella. And I'm very happy for him.
Yeah.
Very, because he break your heart. Honest to God, we talked in the Dublin airport. He might have broke my heart. I kissed him on the forehead.
Really?
Yeah, but I'm glad things.
Does he suffer from that thing we were just talking about? That American drive to.
No, you can't put a country on him. No, there's altogether. There's
something else.
That's a study that would take
It's its own
decades.
unique-
They'll be picking at his skeleton and still won't figure it out.
He's a complex guy.
He's
apparently.
he's really too smart.
Yeah.
And he's apparently driven, and like you said, you did this podcast when it was in its infancy.
It was packed. No, it was packed. People.
Oh, really?
It was a live show. It was a big audience. No, he was doing it in Ireland. No one was. He was nervous about the thing.
Really?
He taught the Dom then.
Oh, okay.
So whenever you heard Dahmer Air's first appearance
That was it.
that's when I first heard of it.
Oh, wow.
So I don't know
Yeah.
if they're lettered that way.
Yeah. Well, I know he just got done interviewing the president, so that was pretty interesting.
Yeah, that's sort of sad for both of them.
You think so? Why is that?
Well, I don't know about the shark jumping Fonzarelli thing,
Yeah, because
Yeah.
where can he go from there?
but
right?
it's definitely his high moment and perhaps
The low.
Barack's lowest simultaneously. So it's a
Interesting.
weird it's a weird crisscross there, because I don't know who you'd go on. Who follows that?
Sure.
Poutine? Why did I call it Poutine?
I have no
It's a
idea.
Canadian thing. I wonder if our prime minister accidentally called him Poutine and then licked his lips. And I'm sorry, I was confusing you with a French fry curd gravy thing. It's a long story. You have to be from Canada. I'm sorry.
So what's coming up for you? What's on the agenda?
I have this. Then, just for laughs, doing the Nasty Show again. Me,
Nice.
Gilbert, Gottfried, Mike Ward, Jimmy Carr, a guy I can't remember, and probably famous out here. I think he is. Artie Lang.
Artie.
And then we're doing one of Ricky's rooms in Edmonton. Then Montreal again. And then I moved back to London, England for a few months.
Oh, you're moving for a while?
But yeah, I got a place out in a place called Crouch End, quite lovely.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll be living there next to Budgeon's.
Nice.
It's a lovely grocery store,
Yeah.
local shop. And I'll be living there and slowly beginning to hate them, as it always happens over a 3-month period. I'll start just fucking hating them. And then I'll come back. And then I'll get a work permit again so I can come out and play America.
Yeah.
Because that's running out. In,
How often you have to do that? Every time?
this is my first time working in America. The last 2.5 years.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I got my permit 2.5 years ago. It's a 3-year permit.
Yeah.
It's running out the end of this year.
Yeah.
And so instead of going to New York like I should, I'm going to fucking England. I'm a ridiculous person. So I'm going to go to fucking England and hang out there with some friends for 4 months.
Dude, that sounds great.
I'm going to go to Spain. There's a gig in Paris. I'm going to Dubai, Mumbai, hopefully.
Badass.
There's some shit in Thailand.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the same with Tom Rhodes. That intrigued me so much. It seems like the best, especially I think about
it's not for everybody.
No, it's not. But for me, it really appeals to me because I think I would do.
Some comics
stay there
like
long enough to get sick of it.
I love the adventure.
Sure.
Because clubs get boring to any country if I walk up a stage.
Well, it's
steps
predictable,
too many
right?
Times.
Yeah.
You go by Sunday.
Yeah.
That'll be the last time I want to walk up those steps for a while.
Right.
You know, I want something different.
Right.
No.
No.
My
desire
buddy
to
Paul
do-
Meyerhog calls me. He's a young comic.
Yeah.
He calls me 3-month Mike, and apparently they all do. And I've never been anywhere long, including home,
Yeah.
for 3 months.
It's better than 3 minute, Mike.
Yeah, 3 minutes. Well, that's another thing.
That's another
altogether. It's about coming. I come fast.
The fish fucking.
Yeah. Well, they're tight again.
Yeah, man.
And remember the teeth. I pull in. That's on purpose, so you don't lose your leader. Don't know what I'm saying. That's when another
15
brain kicks in and goes, oh fuck, what's a fish thing? What's a leader? I think that's a thing. Send it up to his mouth. Leader, we're going with leader. Then right to doubt. Is there a leader? Oh fuck, are we idiots? Oh shit, we're idiots.
And then regret.
Then
And
yelling.
then regret,
the brain
right.
is yelling down.
Yeah.
I don't know what. See, this is.
I love the mechanics. This is great.
Well,
I'd
yeah.
love to see that animated. Like
Yeah.
You got to let it go. That's what I'm saying.
Riff it.
You know, one day you realize, fuck, I guess I'm a comic, and just let go.
Yeah.
Fall into it.
Yeah.
Open arms. Alrighty, that's. And you'll hit your.
But you're saying that now, like, and we talked about maybe some of your past, and that wasn't always the case. You didn't feel the same way.
No, this used to terrify me, man.
Yeah. So how'd you come to that conclusion? Like, just kind of.
Not overnight. That's why you can't explain it to young people. It's and those that say they can are usually scam artists. That and in 1 week, I'll have you playing on Letterman or whatever it is. You know, no, you can't. There's no words for experience. Otherwise, it'd be easy.
Sure.
Somebody would have fucking told me.
Right.
But no, it's different now. It's little parts of it stick in your head until it draws a big picture.
It seems like just part of yourself was just kind of you dissected yourself more and more and more to the point where you just got ready. You got. So
I don't think it was conscious, as conscious
so?
as you think. No, I don't think so. I think it's like muscle memory. It's feel.
Sure.
It's beyond. You want to go
words.
beyond how you can put it on paper.
Yeah.
It becomes feel, and
Just
then
part of the routine.
And then it becomes something because it's another part of your brain is now taking care of it. And wow.
Yeah. See.
That was pretty close. I think there'll be a lot of funny kids coming out of this one. They're going to be somebody's going to put this on Facebook. And my mom is going to double click. So don't put my fucking name on this.
God damn it.
Jesus fuck.
We'll just turn your face into like some
Dude,
fish or
blur
something.
it, blur
like
it.
that. Yeah,
Blur it up.
Pixel.
Well, comedy has always been.
I'll forget. Just pixel the wine glass.
Just the wine glass.
Or just a cardboard cutout with a glass of like juice or milk. Just a big thing of milk. Petting a rabbit. I don't know how we get a rabbit in. Yeah, a milk cart. This chocolate milk is very strong.
Yeah, I think that's why it intrigues us, because you do seem happy and gregarious, more so than some of the guys that we've talked to that they definitely motivated.
I study them.
There's a work ethic.
And
to
that's the
them,
true thing. I study them,
But there's also
and I
a misery
notice the
to them.
first time I see or smell bitterness, I walk away.
Sure.
I'll always be there for them as a friend, but I love this, and you have to find joy in life.
Yeah.
And this is where I find joy, and I don't have time. No one does. There you go. I think I have to just say that.
Yeah.
No one has enough time.
Yeah.
So I'm not. It's no. If I didn't love this, I wouldn't do it. I'm very lucky, and that helps. I wanted to be a comic when I was a little kid.
Sure.
So
what is the time? Where does your time focus on then?
on as
finding a lighter.
As a friend of mine who was a teacher, he taught my kids, Mr. Lafergie. He was, or not Mr. He was a Frenchie. Anyway, he taught music and drama at my kids' school. And he says, oh, now I understand why they're always up there. And I was, yeah, that's about right.
Yeah.
I'm just, because I don't have the restraints of anything serious in my life. That's where
It gives
I am.
you, yeah. it
That's
gives-
that's where I am.
Huh.
That in the gym.
yeah.
I think you really found a good way to shed light on the significance of following your own moral compass. Like you just kind of, it seems like what you do is you followed.
Avoid
whatever
cunts.
feels right.
Avoid cunts
Yeah.
at all costs.
Because it doesn't feel right.
Because it's wrong.
Yeah.
It feels, and it sets the wrong tone and path.
Yeah.
And it can screw you up. No, I filled some passports. I never thought I'd do that. And I think that sort of maybe was first starting to trigger a few years back when I realized when I was a kid, everyone just went to like New York or L.A.
Yeah.
And I go back enough there. I remember people would go to Boston first
Sure.
and then try to hit New York or L.A. And those times that's 30, 40 years ago now.
Yeah.
I don't even know. Now you can really just do your own thing now.
Yeah.
Like look at what you're doing.
Right.
You know,
It's true.
this is you're doing your own thing. And I remember I heard Patton was at Oswald was at the Just for Laughs, and he brought out one of those little Go cameras,
Yeah.
GoPro.
a GoPro, and he just said, "Say goodbye to your offices, your big offices." And I thought that's right on the money.
Yeah.
I think that's why I enjoy these things because you can make them yourselves. I don't think anything. I think like right now, HBO is where the good stuff, or cable, is where the good stuff is, and to a certain extent, that's wonderful. I think that's where it belongs. Good writing, you shouldn't have to see it on a big screen.
Yeah.
You should see it on your big screen at home. Everyone's got a big screen at home.
Right.
You see good writing in your home. So I think that's where that's where everything. I don't even know where I'm rambling now because
No,
I remember I was talking an hour before this fucking thing even started. And I have a bunch of shows too.
I know,
Two,
right,
two,
right.
bunch. My God, two.
We got to make sure you get your nap in.
I don't think we're worried about you running out of.
I never,
words.
no, haven't yet.
I know.
52 years young.
That's awesome. Well, let me ask you this. What's the writing process like for you?
I don't have a process.
Really?
Every time I
It's
sit
on
down
stage?
and write, I go, is this what I do? Is this
Yeah.
how I do it?
Turn serious.
Yeah. I write the same things over and over and over till it's comical stacked, and then stuffed into bags and then retrieved a year later. If that's a process.
Yeah.
Then I go on stage and I riff and I scribble, and that's more where it comes from. I
Sure.
think I go to as many open mics.
Do you?
Yeah, when I was about 15 years in, and I was having a problem thinking, am I going to stick to this one act and turn into a crazy person? Or am I going to have a little more elbow room?
Sure.
And a friend of mine said, you should go back to open mics and scare yourself again, because that's how you started.
Yeah.
So I went back to open mics, and that changed everything. That was like
It's interesting.
10, 15 years ago.
Yeah.
So I try to get 2 or 3 in a week, or ones that young people are running,
Yeah.
and try to. There's one in London that's remarkable. It's called the Old Rope.
Mm-hmm.
There's a noose on the stage, and you grab it if you're doing old, tried and true, and you don't have to touch it if you're working on stuff or just winging it. And so nobody wants to touch that fucking thing. You know?
That's interesting.
And it took 2 years, but Tiffany and Phil got the audience to understand this was the process.
Right, yeah.
So Steve Merchant's there, and Jack Dean, like some incredible British comedians.
Yeah.
All trying their shit out there. I go as many times as I can
Yeah.
to be a ridiculous person. But that's what you have to do. You never stop. You have to practice all the time.
Yeah.
So B.B. King said about the blues, it'd be like doctors and lawyers. They practice the law, they practice medicine. He would practice the blues.
Right.
And I always say, well, I want to always practice comedy. So I guess that's what keeps you from going nuts. Because I bet most of these bitter shits don't do open mics twice a week.
That's true. The ego, I think, is.
Yeah, you get humbled, man. You
Yeah.
get humbled. Oh, you're right. That is stupid.
Yeah.
But you need those thoughts again in your head. You're right. I'm an idiot. That's
Yeah.
right. That was dumb.
Yeah. That's yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of cool things going on like that. Like the thing you just mentioned, like more improvisational stuff. I've heard about a few of them out in LA where they have about like a minute, and they have to come up with a new minute every week. It doesn't sound like much, but
It is a lot.
It's a lot.
It's
Yeah,
a lot.
it's a new bit
I like
every week.
keeps you sharp.
I mentioned set list earlier. That's one that's changing a lot of comedians. It did me. It was nice to have a life lesson when you're like approaching 50. But a few years ago, I did my first set list, and I panicked for hours, just like when I was a kid.
Really?
And then they flash these
The
sentences up, and you have to riff
Oh, okay.
like you've been doing that material for years.
Wow.
And it was fantastic.
Yeah.
And then I realized I'd wasted so much time panicking, and how useless panic was. And it changed I think it's changed. That's just another little thing
Yeah.
that's helped to change me for the good. Is why panic?
Right. Well, I guess what I'm getting out of this conversation is, I mean, it sounds like you have a sense of fearlessness to some extent.
Pardon?
Fearless.
Oh, because I'm scared of everything
Really?
except this.
Yeah, this is the one
So
thing
here
you
I will
makes
be
you the
fearless.
most, yeah,
Because
most
everything else
comfortable.
makes me quite nervous. Like driving. I don't know how to drive. All normal things, fuck, I'm terrified of.
Yeah.
But this stuff, no. So fuck. This is my skydiving.
This is home.
This is where I thrive
Yeah.
for. Yeah, you live with no fear.
So you don't get nervous before you go up on
Oh,
stage
no,
anymore.
but I'm sure it's a different kind of nervous. I try to go blank now, where I used to try to have everything in the first 10.
Just locked in.
Yeah, but now I prefer. I've had more fun lately in the last few years. We'll find a place.
Yeah.
You know, I'll feel you out. This is my first time in front of you too, so we'll figure it out.
Yeah. I like that.
I got enough time.
I like it.
So you have the confidence in yourself.
Well, I want them to meet me halfway. That's all. I think that's all you can ask for your crowd is, if you meet me halfway, we can do something together.
Sure.
If you're not willing to come halfway, and if I can't win you over enough in the first 10 minutes that you're not willing, then it's your problem.
Right.
Then I don't want you halfway.
Right.
Stay there.
Right.
Don't come with me at all. Fuck you.
So you're not gonna roll up your sleeves and try.
No, but and I'm also not gonna fucking kill the show and shit on a handful of people that I were told to come to a comedy club to develop a sense of humor.
Yeah.
You know, so I won't do that either. For those that listen, come with me.
Let's go down this rabbit hole.
Yeah, oh yeah. But if you don't want to listen, stay up here, you miserable fucks.
So are the open mics where
I
you're
love it.
going? Are they similar to this, where there may be like 10 people?
Oh
in the
yeah.
crowd on some nights.
There's some that are good. They're tried and true. They spoil you, so that you never get a really good idea as to whether that was funny or not, because they're just laughing because it was okay.
Yeah.
Because some of the other stuff wasn't.
Sure.
And then I also do the ones where you really young comics, and there's no one there. The microphone's broken. It's hell, and I love it. I've pushed myself into. You do really have to have a friend of mine once said, and again will remain nameless. You don't know how funny you are until you have a gun to your head, and I really do believe if you throw yourself into some kind of novelty, funny peril, try a different thing.
Sure.
You'll find out how funny you are. You might not like what you find.
Yeah.
But it'll put you, because when you're young, you want to know where am I in this business? How new am I?
Right.
That'll give you a clear look. Give yourself a scare if you go. You're not there yet.
Right.
If you rise to it, that's part of it.
I remember Seinfeld said something along the lines of saying that, like, you're as old as you are, your material is old as you are in comedy. So he said, if you've only been doing comedy for 4 years, you have the act of a 4-year-old. Is that true?
Yeah, within comedy.
Yeah.
See, he's another insane person. He doesn't talk normal either. He's great with the jokes, but all that
cryptic,
kind of,
right?
that comedy top that he does every so often. Sure, yeah, fuck, whatever.
It's like art. It's complete
Right.
I don't know.
nonsense.
I don't know.
fucking know.
I don't know.
All right. Yeah.
I think when you, I always thought when you see a guy's new, it's all these big ass subjects like Jesus and fucking politics, like huge politics, assassination, hell and heaven, fighting.
Yeah.
And then the same guy 20 years later talking
about pussy farts.
No, not that horrible. Just like whatever happened to corks. All the bottles had corks in them. Now it's all screw tops.
Yeah.
I don't know. The most mundane shit becomes funnier, and the big stuff becomes less fun.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm now writing stuff about big stuff, but that's because I'm older now.
Yeah.
And I'm being haunted by big stuff.
I like that.
Yeah. But when I hear all these young guys, it's huge. They want to be Stanhope or
Right.
Or
they want to tackle these.
They want to be Bill Hicks and try to remember Bill Hicks is funny or is brave or whatever he wanted to fucking tell him he is when he's dead. Most of his fans are still assholes. Same with Stanhope. Doug's fucking funny. A lot of his fans are just dicks. They want to play a CD in the car when it's got like people in the car.
Oh, no.
I hate those kind of comedy douchebags. Fuck, you want to hear something that I share a very close opinion with?
Someone else.
Somebody else has it. You won't. Fuck off. It's a comic. Still just a comic. Mm-hmm. Listen to it by yourself or with other fucking Stanhope-y friends. Not going from one bar to another.
Yeah.
Oh, here's this bit. But what's child pornography? Mom, close your ears.
Really try to be edgy.
Yeah. Then they come out on stage and they're just trying to gut punch people without any funny. The funny doesn't take the punch away.
Yeah.
It just, the funny is the art part.
Sure.
The scam.
Yeah, the scam. I like
There
it.
are not a lot of guys that can make it through with that kind of act, right? Like the Stanhope is
Oh,
one.
Doug is
Hicks,
fantastic.
But there
and he's
aren't
a
too
great
many of those
writer.
guys, right?
No, there isn't.
Yeah.
Thank
That's
Christ.
a difficult.
There's
way
not
to
too
make
many
it.
anybody's that can take that on and make it. And remember, he's fucking funny. Not all his disciples are. And if you see him after a few, he isn't. Just like most of us aren't. But no, Christ, his ideas are fantastic.
Right.
And he hits it at, like Jim Jeffries I've known since he started.
Uh-huh.
And Jim is filthy good at it because he's a filthy guy.
Yeah.
So
It makes sense.
He's just speaking his language.
Yeah, exactly.
People are understanding him. He's always understood himself.
Right. I like that.
But
yeah.
I've always thought there's something strange about anyone that in a room of 300 people is facing the wrong way. And that's what we are. And we think it's the right way.
Yeah.
So, yay.
Yeah. I like that.
I always stand by that.
Yeah. I like that. Well, we're at on time. We are perfect. We're there.
We're perfect.
We're perfect.
Perfect.
That was perfect.
See how I didn't laugh it up like I did earlier? We got serious about this stuff to teach kids.
We're
to
teaching.
Avoid this at all costs.
Yeah, it tends to happen on this
It's almost
thing.
dead.
We always
The
get
whole
serious.
idea
We
is
get too
almost dead.
serious. It's not
all gonna
funny.
Be this.
Yeah.
It's all going to be podding.
That's right.
Soon it'll be, you'll have this experience. You'll wear a helmet and you'll be me. And the screaming, that's when the screaming starts.
The screaming, yeah.
That's where the nightmare's coming.
Nothing's
As soon as the
God.
connection starts.
I need serious. I need serious.
Oh, jeez, I love it. Anything you want to plug?
No.
Nothing?
No. Fuck no. Who's watching?
gonna
Mom,
watch
I'm
this
sorry.
for 3
You
minutes.
shouldn't have clicked on it.
Yeah.
It's voyeurism. It's not good for you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, go do something productive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You need to get a nap, and I think.
Well, not now.
Not
I'm
yet.
worked
You-
up.
Yeah. Got some more coffee in there.
No, I got some coffee in my room.
Yeah.
I'm going to go back to the seniors' home now. I'm going to walk across the surface of the sun to the seniors' home.
Yeah.
And
Dude, that fucking heat doesn't hit you until
Till you're on
10
the
minutes
asphalt.
after you go into a room.
the
with
old
air
guys are wearing
conditioning.
cardigans. I hope I'm never that cold. That's your body just saying, look, you're dead.
Yeah, you're
technically dead.
Yeah.
If it wasn't
Give
for
up.
whatever medication you're on,
You're done.
you would have been dead. You'd be underground 10 years ago. You're living on borrowed time. Get on the treadmill. Speed this up.
Yep. Take them out. Well,
So-
thank you so much, Mike.
Oh fuck! That was a pleasure, my friends. That was a
Thank
pleasure.
you. Appreciate it.
That was good. A nice afternoon glass of wine. I might have a nap.
I like it.